special status to Jammu and Kashmir, J&K. Special status to Jammu and Kashmir. When India got independence, it is not the India as you see today. India have various administrative territories. British India provinces, princely states, British India provinces, princely states. There were more than 560 princely states in India. There were more than 560 princely states in India. In those princely states, almost all the princely states were integrated into Indian Union by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, by Government of India, particularly with the acumenship of our Home Minister Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. He followed carrot and stick policy. He followed a policy called carrot and stick policy, where he offered many things like privy purses to the erstwhile princes, and stick, sometimes he forced something on them. And in all the princely states, there are 3 princely states: Nizam of Hyderabad, Junagadh and Kashmir. They have become tough things to deal with, very tough to deal with. In fact, Nizam of Hyderabad wanted to maintain a separate princely state within the Indian Union, and at one point of time he even thought of making an alliance with Pakistan. And in Junagadh, the ruler was Muslim and the people were Hindus. In Kashmir, the ruler was a Hindu and the people, most of them were Muslims. At that time, Kashmir state was ruled by a king named Raja Hari Singh. Kashmir state was ruled by a king named Raja Hari Singh. This Raja wanted to maintain independent empire. He does not want to integrate Kashmir state into India or Pakistan. He wants to maintain an independent state, princely state called Kashmir. Under him, there was a Diwan. Diwan is like a minister called Gopalaswamy Iyengar, who was an ICS officer earlier, Indian Civil Services officer. He used to work under Raja Hari Singh of Kashmir, Gopalaswamy Iyengar. When this decision was made during that time, when independence of India and Pakistan, that means independence of India have become obvious, Pakistan infuriated, Pakistan incited, guerrilla groups started intruding into Kashmir state and created a threat to the kingdom. They started entered into the Kashmir state, and they have become big threat to Raja Hari Singh. Unable to protect his kingdom by himself, he asked the support of Indian government led by our Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. And Jawaharlal Nehru have a very special liking towards Kashmir. In fact, he used to write very good sentences on Kashmir. I happened to read one of his poetry on Kashmir, where he has written, Kashmir with all its feminine beauty of rivers and valleys. Kashmir, with all its feminine beauty of rivers and valleys, is beyond human desire. It was a subliminal beauty. It was so beautiful. It has a feminine beauty of rivers and valley. It was beyond human desire, but was like a beautiful creation. He described Kashmir in a very great way. He has special liking towards Kashmir. When Raja Hari Singh asked help, Indian government was ready to help, but on a condition. Indian government was ready to help, but on a condition. The condition is instrument of accession should be signed by Raja Hari Singh to integrate Kashmir into Indian Union. To integrate Kashmir into Indian Union. And this instrument of accession was signed between Raja Hari Singh and Government of India on October 26, 1947. On October 26, 1947. Instrument of accession was signed between Raja Hari Singh and Government of India. This instrument of accession is the genesis of all the Kashmir problem today. The roots we can trace it from, so everything was started with the signing of instrument of accession, and later on Government of India helped. Government of India helped, and Kashmir was liberated. There was no, India stopped all the attacks. Finally Kashmir got integrated into India. In the constitution, a special provision was made for the state of Jammu Kashmir. Part 21 of the constitution of India, part 21 of the present constitution of India, that is temporary, transitional and special provisions, which deals with temporary, transitional and special provisions. Part 21 deals with special provisions, temporary, special and transitional provisions. Article 370 is in part 21. Article 370 deals with special status to Jammu and Kashmir. Article 370 deals with special status to Jammu and Kashmir. In this, clause 7 of instrument of accession. As I told you, instrument of accession is signed between Kashmir state and Indian Union. Clause 7 of instrument of accession says that Kashmir state should not be compelled, Jammu Kashmir state should not be compelled to follow, to accept the Indian constitution, the future constitution of India. So Jammu Kashmir cannot be compelled to follow the Indian constitution or future constitution of India. First point you should remember. Clause 7 of instrument of accession says Jammu Kashmir state should not be compelled to follow the future constitution of India. For that reason, you all know Kashmir have separate constitution. Jammu Kashmir have its own constitution. Jammu Kashmir have its own citizenship. Jammu Kashmir have its own flag. In India, except the state of Jammu Kashmir, we accept constitution of India throughout India. And we don't have state citizenship. We are citizens of Indian Union. But in Jammu Kashmir, apart from Indian citizenship, they also have citizenship of Kashmir state. And Jammu Kashmir have its own flag also. And this instrument of accession is a genesis for Article 370, special status to Jammu and Kashmir. Special status to Jammu and Kashmir. And here you should understand, Clause 1 of Article 370. Clause 1 of Article 370 conferred powers on President, certain powers on Indian President, that the President with the concurrence means with the approval of State Government of Kashmir can issue certain orders on Kashmir. Clause 1 of Article 370 says the State Government with the concurrence of State Government of Kashmir. Concurrence means with the approval, almost both together. The President can pass certain orders called presidential orders. So based on this, the President have passed an order in 1950, 52, 54, and Presidential Order 1954 is the genesis of one more article called Article 35 capital A. Presidential Order 1954. Based on that Presidential Order 1954, Article 35A was added to the Constitution. Generally, if you want to add any new article to the Constitution, you have to do it through Constitutional Amendment. You have to do it through Constitutional Amendment. The procedure laid down in Article 368. But Article 35A was added to the Constitution by President's order made in 1954. This Article 35A have become contentious from last 2-3 years. What does this 35A speaks? 35A says that the permanent residents of Kashmir, they will only can own the property in Kashmir. Outsiders cannot purchase property in Kashmir state. As Indian citizens, we can purchase property anywhere in India, Bangalore, Chennai, Mumbai, anywhere. But only the permanent residents in Kashmir can purchase the property in Kashmir. Even the government jobs in Kashmir, they will go only to the permanent residents. No outsiders can go there. We can go as tourists, but we cannot purchase property, we cannot enter into government job in Kashmir. Only PR, permanent resident. And similarly, there is one more thing in Kashmir. If a Kashmiri girl marries a non-Kashmiri boy, she will lose her permanent residentship status and property rights. If a Kashmiri girl marries a non-Kashmiri boy, she will lose her permanent resident status and also property rights. But the court have given a different judgment in 2012 stating that a girl will not lose. But again, the then CM Mehbooba Mufti brought an ordinance saying that PR status is given only to the girls who married to the Kashmir boy. If the permanent resident girl marries a non-Kashmiri boy, she will lose her citizenship. Still it is a contentious issue. Still the issue is going on, not yet decided. Okay, this is another thing which is very important in Kashmir. Coming back, Kashmir has a separate constitution. It has a separate constituent assembly in which have drafted the constitution, and the constituent assembly was dissolved later on. And Jammu Kashmir till 1965 have a CM who was called as PM. Generally in state level we will call as CM, Chief Minister. Till 1965 the CM of Kashmir is known as Prime Minister of Kashmir, PM of Kashmir. Till 1965 the Governor of Kashmir is called as Sadr-e-Riyasat, SADR, Sadr-e-Riyasat, RIYASAT. So the CM of Kashmir is PM of Kashmir, the Governor of Kashmir is called Sadr-e-Riyasat till 1965. And there was a strong leader in Kashmir at that time called Sheikh Abdullah. he requested central government to give ironclad autonomy to the state of Jammu Kashmir. Ironclad autonomy means completely strong autonomy, which the central government denied, which the central government have not adhered. So, central government thought at that time it is a special temporary and transitional provisions. When Sheikh Abdullah demanded for ironclad autonomy, the central government have not adhered. Coming back, according to Article 352 of the Indian Constitution, we can declare national emergency throughout India. But in the state of Kashmir, national emergency can be declared only on two grounds: war or external aggression. No internal disturbance, no imminent danger. President of India can promulgate national emergency in the state of Jammu Kashmir on war or external aggression, not on internal disturbance, not on imminent danger, etc. Secondly, when we want to impose President's rule, state emergency in Kashmir, for the first 6 months it is called Governor's rule. Only in state of Jammu Kashmir, for the first 6 months, President's rule is called Governor's rule. Called Governor's rule. And coming to financial emergency, according to Article 370, there cannot be financial emergency in Jammu Kashmir. Government of India cannot declare financial emergency in Jammu Kashmir. So, the emergency provisions are completely different. And according to Article 370, except defense, foreign affairs, telecommunications and finance, except defense, foreign affairs, telecommunications and finance, the center cannot make laws in the state. Only the state government has to make law. If the state legislature wanted to adopt any law, then it can adopt. But except defense, external affairs, telecommunications, finance, except these things, there cannot be a law made by the central government. Generally, while appointing governor to a state, the state CM will not be consulted. But with respect to Jammu Kashmir, while appointing governor to Jammu Kashmir, the state CM will be consulted. And generally, the central can take strong decisions without even the concurrence of the state with respect to altering the boundaries of state, amalgamating or merging the state, renaming the state, etc. But in case of Kashmir, without the consent of Jammu Kashmir legislature, the central government cannot do that. Cannot change the name, cannot alter the boundaries, anything. And in India, the residuary powers lies with center. The powers which are not mentioned in the state list or concurrent list, whether they are in the union list or not, they go to the center. But whereas in the state of Jammu Kashmir, residuary powers lies with the state. Residuary powers lies with the state. In India, by 44th Amendment 1978, in the Indian Constitution, by 44th Amendment 1978, right to property was taken away as fundamental right. Right to property was taken away as fundamental right. But in the state of Kashmir, even today, right to property is a fundamental right. Right to property is a fundamental right. And in Kashmir, all the time, most of the times, many legislative assembly elections in some constituencies cannot be conducted because some of the constituencies are located in POK, Pak occupied Kashmir. They were under POK, Pak occupied Kashmir. And generally, the legislative assemblies in the states have a maximum tenure of 5 years unless dissolved earlier. Jammu Kashmir Legislative Assembly have the tenure of 6 years. Jammu Kashmir Legislative Assembly have the tenure of 6 years. And in Kashmir state, Kashmiri flag is separate. In India, there is a flag code. Burning the flag is a crime. In Kashmir state, it is not. In Kashmir state, it is not. And even the Jammu Kashmir High Court has special powers compared to other high courts. Jammu Kashmir High Court have special powers compared to other high courts. So it can have its own constitution, its own citizenship, its own flag, and everything is very special in Jammu Kashmir. This is called special status to Jammu Kashmir. Special status to Jammu Kashmir. Here comes 2-3 important issues. 1. Is it temporary or permanent? Is it temporary or permanent? In Article 370 it is written that President can remove this special status, make this as null and void by a public notification if the Constituent Assembly recommends this. But the Constituent Assembly of Jammu Kashmir, after writing the constitution, already dissolved. So that means even the President of India have no power now to declare it as null and void. And even the Supreme Court in the recent case told it was permanent, it was not temporary. Jammu Kashmir High Court told, Supreme Court told. But again, many issues and petitions are filed against calling it as permanent, because the government have not thought to make it as a permanent. Government have not thought to make it as permanent. This was argument. And one more thing, Jammu Kashmir is a special case. We have to treat it separately. Whether granting special category, this special status, is it good or not, only history has to decide. Only time has to decide. Only time. And government is trying hard to work specially for Jammu Kashmir. On October 31st, our Vice President wrote an article about Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. In that article, he quoted a statement saying that if Sardar Patel would have become the Prime Minister of India, he would have dealt with Kashmir issues separately. In fact, even B.R. Ambedkar refused to draft Article 370. B.R. Ambedkar refused to draft Article 370. Okay, this is a story of special status to Jammu and Kashmir.